Okay, so I hope I'm audible uh, for some reason. Yeah, fine, great. I do hope I'm properly audible. I'll just quickly check on my screen if I may, that if I'm audible, because like the thing which I'm having right now is obviously a bit difficult. So yes, I'm properly audible. Fine. So welcome back, guys. And obviously, what we have started here is a career talk. Uh, the focus of this particular career talk is very simple. A lot of students, if I may, or the students who are currently in fourth year, students who are currently in third year, face this challenge of a career. Which internship I should focus on, what companies I should go for, what is the right language I should be learning, and whatnot. Majority of these students have these kind of questions and they don't have the answer. They need a person who can actually guide them. Now, obviously, I cannot be available physically right now with you guys everywhere. So what my goal here is to actually answer your queries one by one. So what we are going to do, we are going to have a daily YouTube live. That's my promise. I mean, not good with promises, but yes, I'm going to try to make sure that we are coming daily live, at least every day. Let me think about Sundays. And what my focus area is obviously answering your queries live. So if you have some friends who did not receive any answer, they don't have a clear cut understanding, they're looking at various YouTube videos and they are not sure what they should be doing. So this is your place where we are going to discuss everything live. So you will shoot me a question and I'll respond to your query. Then we will have a follow-up question or whatever that is, whatever or whatever not. Now, let's quickly get started. Now, I have few set of questions with me. Now, obviously, I don't have any questions right now because this is a first day live. So there is a good possibility that people are not aware what we are doing. So let's quickly get started. Now, what I'll do, I'll just open up the particular area where we actually receive the questions. So just give me a second. I think it's better that I use desktop. Obviously, I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah. So I just quickly open that. Yes, obviously, I want to mention one thing, guys. If you have any questions, there is a link which is given in the description of this particular video. You can post your link, post that so I can answer your queries. Meanwhile, my concern is obviously answering your queries live. So if you have any question, you can put that question in the comment box or live section, if I may, and I would be more than happy to answer your query. Now, meanwhile, I have received few queries from a lot of students, so I'll be focusing on one of the student, Prashanta, I believe, is asking this question. I'm from software testing background and want to know what would be best career transition for me. So first of all, guys, I just want to mention one thing. This is very critical for you as well as for your career, that you have to be very sure what you want to do. This question which I have received, I would not say that this is a bad question, if I may, but what I would term here is this is an incomplete question. If you talk about career transition, what kind of a career you want to pursue? A lot of people have this kind of a thing like, okay, I'm into software testing, I want to go into cloud. Fine, I'll take that. You say I'm into software testing, I want to go into the management part of it. Fine, I'll take that. But you have to be very specific about it. What do you want to do? Because it's not something like you're going to go for a movie and you're going to say, hey, I need some random things to eat. So it's not, it does not work like that. Like I'll give a very simple example. If you purchase a phone, if you take a SIM card, you cannot recharge it from anywhere. You have to go to the specific vendor, if I may, or the specific company where they will actually help you get yourself recharged. What I mean is, you cannot go to, like, if you purchased SIM from company A, you cannot go to company B and say, hey, I purchased the SIM from company A and I want to get a recharge from you guys. It does not happen unless you port your number. So please make sure the question is quite obvious and it could be understood and it has some strength to that. So if I have to answer this question, if you want to go for a career transition, obviously programming is one thing. Software development, if I may, is a very good place for you to get started because you already have ample amount of experience. If I may, I'm assuming that you already have some experience. Second, cloud. Obviously, I'm a big, a big evangelist of cloud. So that is something you can offer. Next, obviously, you can go for consulting part of it. So consulting is something which I really appreciate and which I really like for students, or I should say the professional, for a very specific reason. It helps us set the tone for our career. Management is quite an obvious place or an awesome place if I talk about. So like, let's say you're targeting a big MNC where they have 200, 300 people to be managed, a very good place to get started. But yes, please keep your questions direct so that they can be answered. Okay, let's move forward to the next question. I have this question from Mr. Sujit. I want to start career in IT sector from technical backgrounds who need guidance. Again, a very vague question. Want to start career in IT sector, a sector from technical backgrounds who need guidance. You already have a technical background. I don't know what kind of a guidance you require in terms of IT sector. IT sector is not just software development. It is much more than that. You can actually go for ample amount of opportunities, and all the opportunities are immense. I mean, it's quite impressive, and you can go for any kind of a career transition. So again, I'm sorry, I'm not able to answer your query. If anyone, obviously, if someone is watching, please make sure you have the question available, which is quite obvious and like it makes sense. I'll go for a next question, which is from Mr. Pradeep. And thanks for the cloud architect video. Thank you for that. I have 12 years of experience in IT industry, software industry, relevant 8-year experience in development, .NET Core, C#, SQL, and last 3 years I'm working on AWS services, DynamoDB. But I did not get the chance to work on AWS Cloud Infra. How will I become an AWS solution architect? Can you please help me? Now, this is a very specific question. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This question, again, Pradeep, thank you for asking this question. Now he's saying that he has worked on from last 3 years. He's working as an AWS services, DynamoDB, etc. I did not get the chance to work on AWS Cloud Infra part. How will I become AWS solution architect? So Pradeep, first of all, my suggestion is obviously I don't know how many certifications you have. So you should first of all aim for the certification, which is obviously going for the cloud practitioner and the solution architect associate kind of a certification, and the solution architect professional certification. So these are the certification you should be aiming for. And with these kind of certification, you can actually go to your company and say, hey, I'm a guy who can actually do something more than DynamoDB. I'm a guy who can do something more than AWS services. So a humble request would be like, if you're aiming for a career and if you're already aware of where you should be going, a certification is a very good way to get started. And obviously, in terms of experience, you already have 12 years of experience in the IT industry. So that is quite awesome. But yes, you have to go to your manager, you have to go to your team leader with these certifications, and you have to project that, yes, you can actually you have the capabilities of actually becoming a professional solution architect. If you are not planning to get the certification, is it possible? Yes, the answer is possible. What you can do, actually, you can gradually start implementing solutions for your company where you can actually provide solution like, okay, this is what we should do. This is the kind of solution we should be building. So this is something you can actually try for. And this would be my suggestion. And obviously, if you have further question or a follow-up question on this, we are open to assist you. The next question which I have is from Mr. Gaurav. I want to become a cloud solution professional, but don't know which certification should I get. Certification is I should do to get a job in cloud without experience in cloud. Again, I want to mention one thing. I don't know why we have this kind of a trend in the industry that if I don't have the certification, if I don't have the, what should I say? If I don't have the experience, if I may, I won't be able to make it in the cloud. You won't believe your current company is one of the best place for you to actually transition your career in cloud. Let me tell you how. Let's say you plan to actually get into cloud. What is the best way to get started? First of all, get a certification. Get a certification, obviously the entry-level certification in terms of AWS, we will call this as cloud practitioner. After getting the certification, what you should be doing, you should be aiming for a, obviously reach out to your manager and say, hey, I have this certification of cloud practitioner. Now, what should I be doing? So obviously they will be guiding you, they will be telling you, because you won't believe your company is actually looking for people who have this kind of a skill set. So focus on that. After that, go for a associate level certification. If I talk about in terms of cloud solution architect, so you go for an associate level certification, gain a year worth of experience in the infrastructure of AWS, then go for a professional certification. So this would be sort of a simplest way of doing it, because I'll give you a very simple example. Getting started might be difficult for you if you actually change your location, I mean, change from company A to company B, but you can simply, or I should say most easily, get started with the same company without any challenges. So that's my answer for you, Gaurav. Let's move to the next person. We have Jainul. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I've completed my BE from mechanical engineering 2017. I did not get any job. I did job in sales profile, and then I started automobile shop business, but I'm not satisfied with my career. I want to job as my qualification. Please suggest my career path. Again, not sure what you're trying to ask. I do understand a lot of things happen in our life, and obviously not all things can be controlled. You have, like, already 5 years have gone after you completed mechanical engineering. Now you're not satisfied with your career. That is something which I understand, but I want job as my qualification. Please suggest me a career path. So what I would suggest to you is, obviously, first of all, aim for an entry level job, because this is something which is going to be a bit difficult for you. You won't believe, I have a friend who has just started his career in a cloud. Just he was working in below par jobs, if I talk about in terms of administration, in terms of documentation part of various institution kind of a stuff. So bit difficult stuff, I understand, but yes, things are possible. So you should get started with an entry level job, and with that entry level job you can actually transition yourself. So like within a span of 1 year or 1.5 years, you can actually transition into a proper job. So getting an entry level job is going to be a very beneficial thing for you, especially in terms of your career transition, if I talk about. And the best entry level job would be in terms of getting started as a software developer, because this is going to be the best way to get started. Now let's take some questions from the students who are actually currently in 4th year and they have few questions related to their career. I am not receiving any questions anyways. I'll just give you the questions which I have in my mind. So one of the person yesterday reached me out and they said they want to make career in DevOps. They are currently in 4th year. There are so many tools they want to get started with. I mean, there are so many tools in DevOps which are required, and what they should learn and what they should skip, kind of a thing they had in their mind. So if you're a student who is in 4th year right now, you're aiming your career in tech, you're aiming your career in the IT, if I talk about, or software tech field. I don't know, like what kind of a terminologies you guys have. What I would suggest is very simple. Go for a career which is quite obvious of DevOps, but how? The answer is very simple. Look for an internship. And guys, one thing, as a student, you should not have internship just for the sake of internship. 2 month internship, 45 days internship, getting a certification of the internship is never going to help you. Why? Because companies are not looking for people who have just one more piece of paper which is worthless. Let me be very honest with you. Right now, I can give you certifications, papers, or kind of stuff for next 6 months, for web development, for Java development, for DevOps development, for cloud, whatnot. But when you will go to the company and say, okay, you have worked with Avinash, you have worked on Skillnaver, you have worked with the various companies, okay, you must be aware of what is DevOps. And when they will ask you the question, if you're not able to answer, they will realize, okay, either you are faking or the company with which you were working is providing fake documents, if I. So the simple term is, go for a 6 months internship, go for a 1 year internship. And when they ask you this question, okay, why, like, what is the duration? Just say, I want to do as much as I can. I want to learn so much. Why internship is important? Because internship can be a very good way for you to actually generate the repo, get the exposure, get the proper network, and actually grab a PPO, which is going to be awesome for you if you're already working. You won't believe I've seen so many people who are actually interning at Microsoft, interning at Google, interning at Meta, interning at various companies, and then getting the PPO. So it is better that you get these kind of PPOs, and it is better that you find those kind of internships. Now, Avinash, what tools should I be learning if I'm actually aiming for DevOps? So the answer is quite obvious. Don't start with every single. Master the art of GitHub. From making a repo to pushing a repo to implementing actions and making sure that the source code reaches the server after being tested. This is the simplest format I would suggest you can get started with the DevOps, and that is going to be the best way of you to learn the DevOps and get started with the DevOps. Second question, which I received recently this week, was obviously cloud. I want to make my career in cloud. Currently, I am in third year. I have no skill set. I belong to a branch which is not computer science, IT, or whatever that is. What should I do? First of all, take a deep breath because you need that. Secondly, what I would suggest that go for entry-level certification of cloud. This is very important. Currently, you are a student. You have no worries in your head. So go for an entry-level certification. With that certification, you can show yourself that yes, you have the understanding of cloud. Then go for an internship, aim for an internship, go for a 6 months, 12 months internship. If it is part-time, go for it. If it is full-time, if your college allows it, go for it. But don't miss it, because internship is the place where you will learn things, how things happen in reality. I can say that, okay, you don't need a EC2 instance or a virtual machine because you're not building this big application, but the companies have already done that. There is something which is known as technical debt. So if a company has already made some technical debts, and if they have already made the mistakes, how do you solve this problem? You don't know, right? So that is going to be the way of it. Go for a certification, entry-level certification, then aim for an internship, because obviously getting a cloud internship, there are so many students who are actually going for certification. So it is very difficult for us to actually get an internship without kind of a certification, unless you are an exceptional student. So guys, obviously I am not receiving any more questions from you guys. So what I would be doing, obviously we will be doing this kind of things every single day, Monday to Saturday, probably even on Sunday. Let me see, maybe on Sundays we can do it an early hour. I'm not sure when we can do that. But yes, let's keep this as a habit for me and for you guys. So if you have any questions, confusion, or challenges, this channel is the right place for you to ask the question. If you're a fresher, if you're a college going student, this will be the best place for you to ask the question, because I have all the answers. And obviously, if I don't, I will have someone who will give your answers. So with this, I'll see you in the next slide, which is obviously tomorrow. So bye-bye, and keep your questions.